What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. If you're new here now, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. What we're looking at here today is going to be very interesting as we are actually riding some really nice waves. We're going to be taking a look here at not only the equity markets, the Nasdaq, new all-time highs, really FANG stocks extending their gains. We're going to be looking at the S&P 500. We're going to be looking at gold, silver, the dollar, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. It's going to be a good, fun session today. And the reason I say that is because everyone is just hanging on to and maintaining some positions. This is really a nice summer atmosphere we have over here. Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow we have the first Friday of the month, non-farm payrolls. It's going to be a big number one way or the other. I don't know if it's going to be a hit or miss. I do expect some volatility. What I'm really tracking over here and now neutral on equities is that we've come into this resistance line, this trend line over here, surpassing my target here of 33.39. Now happy to be neutral. We're not too far off all-time highs. Is that a possibility? Of course it is. Look over here the last time. I want you to focus on over here before we get to the Nasdaq. And I want you to see the last time that we went ahead here and broke above that upper resistance here, this trend line channel we have over here. The last time we broke above it, we really went into the next bit of resistance, and then we saw a market sell-off. Is something similar setting up right now? Is it possible that tomorrow's print is so bad that the markets rally on the expectations of more stimulus coming? Of course it is. We have over here the outer target. Those that are involved in the trade, some of you have set a stop loss now, right? That's it. I'm out of the trade. I'm happy to be neutral equities. I will be looking for some type of movement back either into this mid-trend line over here that we have, or this trend line over here coinciding right now with the 32 support area. That could happen sometime in the next few weeks. We will be watching out for that. Now, what happens if that's not what happens? I'm always looking at the other side of the trade. Is it possible? Is it possible right now? Right now, by the way, what are we looking at here? We're looking at some gridlock going on. President Trump is talking about taking some executive action, executive orders, going ahead and extending these benefits. How the market's going to react. Listen, it's more important than trying to figure out a position ahead of a news event rather than watching how the market reacts to that news event. That's why tomorrow's morning live session is going to be a good one, because we're going to be able to see how the market reacts to the non-farm payroll print. It's going to be important. We're going to go through it together. Right now over here, right? Is this a realistic expectation? Right? Anyone holding, you're coming into an area that, the trade is overextended. You're coming into resistance. Is it time to take profits? For me, it was. That was my plan all along. Executed very nicely. Well, the markets followed suit. Now listen, is it possible that we break to new all-time highs? Is it possible at some point during the summer we break to new all-time high? Of course it is. If we do break to new all-time highs, and we also see the Dow follow, taking out its June high, that would be very bullish for me. If the Dow is able to break above its June high, that's very bullish. Then we have all three indices making higher swing highs. Nasdaq making new all-time highs, and the S&P is not too far off all-time highs over here. Quite possible. Now, what I want you to focus on, if that happens, if the S&P is able to make new all-time highs, at that point, we will become interested. What does that mean we'll become interested? Well, we're going to be looking at that point then for a pullback, a retest of that broken resistance. Make sure the market confirms it as support. And as it resumes up, absolutely we'll be looking to take advantage of that. The thing is, and why so many people have been on the wrong side of the market, and you're talking about especially those coming from very traditional market backgrounds, because it doesn't make sense to them. All right. The market right now, what's it doing? The Fed is printing. What happens when the Fed prints? Stocks go up, right? So what are we doing? We're just trading what's on the charts. Forget your own personal opinions. be detached. Always be looking at the macro, always be forming opinions, but at the end of the day, simply follow what's on the charts. That's why I've basically, those that are involved in the community, if you are involved in the community, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. We've basically forbid anyone from selling short on the equity markets going on a couple of months now, and it's really helped people stay on the right side of the market. I want to keep you there. There's no reason to be selling, trying to pick a top. What do you do in an uptrend? Markets are in a strong uptrend. You buy off support. Are we coming into support right now? No, we're coming into resistance. What does that mean? As you come into resistance, right? That's where you want to take profit. For me, that was my line in the sand. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful move. It was time to get neutral. Happy being neutral over here. Why? Because there's other assets that we're involved in, other assets that are much more exciting right now, much more assets that make much more sense, i.e. gold, Bitcoin, silver, Ethereum. All right, let's take a look at the Nasdaq over here. I said to everyone, right? By the way, this morning we were looking at this. We were saying that's bullish. Consolidating above all-time high, bullish. Look at that beautiful extension up, mainly from the FANG stocks. Listen, I said as you come into this area over here, that was your guide to take profit on the Nasdaq. Follow suit on there. Yeah, we could see some further extension overnight on the indices. I do believe that's going to happen. Rest assured, there will be some profit taken, I believe, ahead of the non-farm payroll print as well. Does it make sense to continue pushing up here? That's the question you need to ask yourself if you're still holding on to any longs. Do not short the market, right? Do not short the market. DXY, the dollar, because this has been all a dollar story. I just want you to focus in on over here today as we are now what looks like consolidating. You could see after this expansion down, it looks like we are now consolidating. Do I think we get a breakout tomorrow after the non-farm payroll? Watch out for that, especially if it's a breakdown. If it's a breakdown after the non-farm payroll, watch and be aware. Take advantage of that on US dollar pairs. I want to take a look at silver today, which definitely, you know what? Overbought, can remain overbought. It's when markets become overbought or oversold that the big moves happen. You all familiar with what happened on crude oil, WTI crude oil earlier in the year? Was this oversold coming in to $20 down here? What happened? It went down to zero. These markets can remain overbought and oversold longer than traders can remain solvent. Remember that. Here, silver is approaching the 29.50 resistance level. That's a take profit level. That's a big take profit level over here. Do I think that people should be selling silver at this level? Absolutely not. That would be absolutely reckless. You are looking to buy off any support. The closest support is down over here. I have that at 26.24 and then followed by 24.50. This is about an 8% drawdown from where we currently right over here, right? 8.6 drawdown. That's a buy, in my opinion, on silver. And we could go down as far as 15%. That would be the support down over there at 24.50. Both of those are the levels that you should be looking to enter. By the way, how do we do that? The way that we always do that on the 8-hour time frame, you're looking for a retest, then you're looking for that support level to hold, and it's on the resumption upwards that you enter the trade. That's the high probability trade, right? Same thing over here. If we don't make it and we come back down to the 24.50, that's the area you're watching for price to resume off. Get in the high probability entry. Don't take the risk. Don't ever take the risk. Gold, let's see what's going on with gold over here. Trading at 2062. Beautiful to see. Gold has now had, I believe, either 14 out of 15 up days or perhaps even 15 out of 16 up days. Either way, has never been done before. And while I'm not looking for any type of steep pullback on gold or silver, by the way, I'm not looking for any type of steep pullback. In my opinion, this was the pullback, right? You saw this over here. That was a 4% pullback. You saw that on silver, by the way. You also saw over here. Let me pull up silver for you. This was a 15% pullback over here. Those were the pullbacks, right? That's not 15, 14. 14% pullback, 13.5% pullback, whatever the case may be. Those were the pullbacks. Do not look for or expect any type of meaningful sell-off in the precious metals. Any dips should be bought, in my opinion. Gold has just entered the bull market, the first pullback on the bull market. And by the way, we did hit all-time highs over here. Going into that, if you've been following the channel, I was talking about as we went in to test the all-time highs on gold that I would be here it was in this area over here. I said I would be looking for a 3 to 5% pullback. That already happened, right? Same thing on silver. Silver followed suit. That happened. The first pullback to new all-time highs is the one you want to be involved in. Continue be looking to build and hold those positions. This is just getting started. We're not even looking at an exit yet on precious metals. Bitcoin looking very good today. Continues after consolidating above that support level over here in the 11,000 area. Now resuming up, coming to test that spike high we had last week over the weekend. That was on, I believe, Saturday night or Sunday at 12,100 and 12,100. I think that's where we're headed. I think we're going higher. Ethereum lagging a little bit today. No problem whatsoever. Looks very, very healthy. I'm going to keep this update today short and sweet simply since there's not anything new to add to the conversation. I did want to check in with y'all, of course. Apple, definitely of note today. Look at this chart here. Ever since the March lows over here on Apple, up over 100%. And you could see this is now, we talked about it, entering what looks to be like a possible parabolic blow off top, except if you go back and you look, let's look at the Nasdaq. Look, come with me. We're going to go back to 2008. All right. Come with me back to 2008. And I want you to see something that's going to give you some really solid perspective over here. And as it looks like perhaps we have gone parabolic over here, I do want to go back to 2008, the last time the Fed started QE. And I do want to show you a little bit of a chart here just to give you some perspective, right? Now, history does not repeat itself, but it often does rhyme. You're all familiar with that. And here, this is the all-time high, by the way, on the Nasdaq. That's at 2254, going back to when the Fed started QE over here in December of 2008. And then you could see here as the markets went up and tested that all-time high, right? And you could see after that, there were some nice gains. Look, focus in on this area with me right over here. Here's the all-time high, right? And I want you to see, this is what I want you to see. There was some big consolidation in this area over here. And what happens after some really big consolidation? Look at that explosive move on the Nasdaq. What I'm focused on and what I want all of you focused on as the markets are forward looking. We all understand the state of the economy. It's devastating. That's not what we're focused on. We're focused on the Fed and how the Fed's going to react. And the Fed is telegraphing that they are looking to run this very hot. They are going to try to push inflation. They are going to be expanding their balance sheet. The printers are going to continue to run. We are very, very bullish on asset prices being inflated right now. However, there are certain assets that are way more attractive than others. There are certain assets here that make sense. There are others that at this point just do not. Investing accordingly. I want to keep everyone on the right side of the market. By the way, as we fast forwarding over here, I have this little calendar set up. I'm going to be taking the family on vacation next week. We are leaving on Sunday. That means on Monday, we'll have no scheduled update, okay? Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, I will be posting updates, checking in with you all, okay? Now, I don't know what exactly that's going to look like yet or when they will be. They will not, let's call this summer, late August sessions. They're not going to be regularly scheduled. Listen, now's the time. Now's the time to rest, get refreshed. We have really been riding these waves beautifully. Let's really focus in on what's coming up in September. By the way, this week of August, the 24th to 28th, I will not be doing any updates planned whatsoever. If anything's going on, I will be checking in with you. The live streams will start on September 1st. No one should really think about starting to trade. And I do believe that everybody, when it comes from the 24th on, the 24th through September 4th should be on the sidelines. September 5th, September 7th, that's when everyone comes back from vacation. That's when we're really going to pick up. You all know three things. Number one, I genuinely care about all of you, and I really want you to succeed. Number two, I work really hard. I have a really strong work ethic because that's what produces results. Number three, I really love looking at these charts with you. I really love looking at the markets, doing my analysis, really dialing into the market and finding that sweet spot where we really could be on the right side of the market. And I love sharing it with y'all, right? So I'm going to be spending, so the next couple of weeks, I'm going to spend this, but the next couple of weeks, as I do every end of August, I'm going to be spending some time with the family. I'm going to be spending some really quality time, really, getting energized because this September, as you all know, look at the summer. This September, we need to be sharp. We need to be on our game. We really need to be focused. It's important to take that little bit of rest. I see all of the results you all are putting up, and they are really, really nice. I want to make sure that continues. I believe we're going to see and continue to see some serious fireworks and volatility this fall. I want to be there with you all to navigate through it and make sure we continue to thrive. So this is going to be an ongoing fluid situation. I will definitely be in constant contact with you all. We will not be doing, for the most part, our morning live streams during this period, starting on next Monday, this coming Monday. It will be that following Thursday and Friday. I will check in with y'all. We will do live streams together, and then we will start September 1st back to our regular live streams. This period over here, these 4 days more or less, is really going to be getting back dialed into the flow of the market, making sure we're sharp before we really get to work. And that's going to be, right? That's going to be September 7th on, is when everyone comes back, is when we're expecting some big moves, and we want to be there to take advantage of it. All right, everyone, that's it for today. I hope you all look at this beautifulness here on silver. Look at this beautifulness here on silver. Is it time to take some profits? You have to be asking yourself that right here. So let me talk about that for 1 second with y'all. I've seen a lot of people. I saw some people selling physical silver, talking about sending physical silver back to APMX and cashing out right over here. I think that's a horrible mistake. I think that's a terrible mistake. This bull market here in precious metals is just getting started. $28 silver, right? What are we looking at? Is it possible in 2021 we're looking at 35 silver? Are we looking at possibly in 2021 testing the all-time highs? $50 silver? What is the Fed going to be doing, right? By the end of the year, are they going to 10 trillion? These numbers we're throwing around, right? What is that it? Is that where they'll stop? Or is the last tool that the Fed has is to print money and run those presses? This is just getting started. By the way, the difference between gold and silver, gold is going to perform well in an inflationary type environment and a deflationary type environment. Silver performs well in what? In a reflationary type environment. Inflationary type of environment. It does not perform well in a deflationary type of environment. Gold and silver. Everyone's loving silver right now. I love gold. I'm all about gold. I'm all about the price action happening in silver. And I do expect silver to continue in this environment to outperform gold. Why I'm sharing that with you right now, I'm not exactly sure. All right, everyone. I thought this was going to be actually a much shorter check-in with you all, simply because there's nothing new to add to the conversation today. we're all basically on autopilot, enjoying those summer swells. Tomorrow is going to be an awesome live session as we have non-farm payrolls and a lot to digest. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you soon.